limits.
So this was a phone call between Onision and Edwin's generation. I think it was from like a year ago, but I've been watching Deity, and he's been going through all the conversations and the stuff that's, come out recently. And his point of view is interesting too.
Kind of a personal question is what's the deal with, as I said, I haven't watched any of your videos or anything like that. What's the deal with Shiloh and lying or something, or what's going on there?
So, yeah, I mean, it's a little trip there.
Basically, unless did you want to talk about it as part of the interview, or?
Well, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I already made the video, so it's everything that I feel is
so it would be redundant if you,
Yeah, I mean, we could like, I don't mind like touching on whatever, and like for the interview, like, see how I usually do it. Like I've done 3 or 4 like this where it's more sort of like a conversation, like laid back, sort of like the kill stream like that. That was kind of conversational.
Y'all, I'm sorry I had to stop for a minute because Deity, he looks like my mom when she used to get mad. She'd have a cigarette in her hand and she'd like be real mad and be tapping her foot, tapping her arm. And when I would walk past her, I'd be like, oh, hell, what is she pissed about? Oh, my goodness. Because my mom didn't play. I lost my mom a couple years ago, and I love her. Oh, my gosh, I love her, and I miss her so much. But I'm sorry to get off track, but that's just who he reminded me of right then, how she used to look when she would get soap. She'd have her cigarette like this and be mad.
But it was kind of long, and I don't upload that kind of long video. So basically, I would just trim out, like, the irrelevant stuff. Yeah, so
he don't want to upload a long video, but he wants to cry for 10 hours and get them super chats the whole time.
With her, she just basically, I believe she was kind of abusing the platform, which, she obviously got a big following from calling you out. And it's like, that's fine and dandy to...
Edwin, a huge chunk of the recognition that you have received have come from the videos that you have done on Onision, and I don't want to hear you argue otherwise. No, you didn't create your channel for that intended purpose, but you definitely covered it, and to hear you act like his good Judy, his gal pal, that's disgusting. This is someone who doesn't have a backbone, who doesn't stand firmly in one decision or another, one interpretation of a person's moral character or another. And it's gross. And I'm not saying, oh, Greg's bad, that means Shiloh's good. I'm saying it's evident that he does not view himself in the same way that he views other individuals who have talked about this situation. And that's comical. And it's even more evident from the perception that he has about Chris Hansen. Girl, you do the same thing he does.
He recollects and recall her experiences.
I was going to read some of the comments here in Deity's on live stream. It says, I like hearing about it, especially because no one else is talking about it, and a lot of people are talking about Shane and Trisha. 11 videos with Edwin's name in it for 2 weeks is clout chasing. I haven't watched any of your videos, left my ass off. Shut up, Greg. We know you watch videos about yourself. That's true. We do know that Greg does watch videos about himself. And all 11 videos have been on point. IMO. Homeboy deserves criticism, and Deity is right. He was relentless to Shiloh. If you can dish it, you have to take it. All 11 videos are the same thing too. At least change it up a bit. Laughing my ass off. Finally caught a live stream. All simps in the room. Shut your big mouth. Big yappers. Seems like you're enjoying them. All 11 videos equals Edwin talk bad about Shiloh.
This is video, but all of a sudden it started turning into something else, and
I don't see how discussing a popular and ongoing topic is clout chasing either. I think that this is the only time that Onision sounds like a rational person in conversation.
I don't trust her.
Now, a lot of people are mad with Edwin because of this phone call, because they feel like Edwin allowed Onision to control the conversation. But I will give Edwin this. When you talk to Onision, you kind of do have to either be full throttle and interrupt him every 5 seconds and argue with him constantly, because if you intervene then Onision will completely either shut down or he'll just argue about one thing over and over and over. To where if you'll just let Onision talk, normally Onision will bury himself really quickly and he'll contradict himself over and over and over. So I do kind of understand why Edwin let Onision control the situation and the conversation.
Still,
well,
But on the documentary, y'all, he wanted justice. He cared so much. And he just involved himself with that documentary to ensure it was done correctly, to lend a hand and to help out Shiloh and Chris Hansen, these people he hates. Okay, girl.
Were you like keeping up with all the shit going on back in the day with her?
Very loosely. I didn't really dive into her story in particular. So basically, as far as her, I just know like the stuff that went on. Like I've been following her account recently, like everything from her account now, like the patient zero stuff. And I observed her, and I feel like she's, and I have no problem being objective. Like I think she is the one that out of all the insults that you applied to everyone, she is the one that fits the vindictive one for sure. She's pretty transparent about it.
It's just
I think it's comical that he would say he has no issue with being objective. But it's clear he does, especially when it comes to Shiloh. Especially.
Personal opinion, Sarah and Shiloh share personality types.
Oh my gosh.
Between,
Onision is not a fucking psychiatrist. He is not a doctor of any kind. He cannot diagnose people or disorder or personality traits. If anyone has a disorder, it's Onision. He thinks Onision likes to pretend he has some kind of degree in mental disorders, but he doesn't. Onision's issue is you're fine and you're normal until you piss him off. And then when you piss him off, then you have BPD, you're a schizophrenic, you have multiple personalities, you're a schizo. All of a sudden, you have tons of disorders because you pissed him off.
Sarah and Shiloh is that Shiloh,
of course, never forget, Onision is a psychologist. Eddie certainly studied psychology, per his own words, in a 2017 video uploaded to Edwin and Mina. He literally stated, I've studied psychology, and I know.
Can I just intersect here for a moment and say how much I love Mina?
Know that it's good to vent these types of things. You can't keep them bottled up inside. And yet, the whole time that you were coming down on Shiloh, you were arguing that she should be removed from the internet. How could you say that it would be in the best interest of the survivor to remove their outlet? And in the same breath, have this philosophy that it's good to vent these emotions, but it's only good when it comes to him crying.
Do you guys agree with Deity here? I mean, I guess some of his, points are they seem a little aggressive, but at the same time, I mean, Edwin did kind of jump into this documentary thing, and Edwin, was bamboozled, and it sucks because Edwin has always done such great content, but it does kind of make some people wonder, why would he do this documentary? He knows not to trust these companies. He knows not to trust anything dealing with Chris Hansen. We know Chris Hansen's going to be running the show. I don't know.
Do it to me. Steve, this is why I absolutely hate Google Drive. Anytime I pause an audio recording on the Google Drive, I have to refresh it.
Aggravating.
That's it.
Mental illness, that absolutely credible sources. These are people who are like doctors who deal with trauma that has come about as a result of abuse and really horrendous situations. And these people state that anyone who is dealing with a drug issue or a mental illness, those people are actually more susceptible to be abused by someone like Ray. Like that is
another comment. I'm not a fan of Shiloh and was a fan of Edwin until he decided to do the documentary. I really questioned his morals when his biggest thing was he didn't want to be judged for working with Chris.
That is literally a fact. They are susceptible to the controlling. They are susceptible to the brainwashing. So what are you trying to prove? What are you saying? Just because these people may deal with mental illness, that absolutely does not mean that you didn't treat them the way that you treated them.
Personality, and that would be Aliana.
Another comment. I really hate Dr. Onision. He thinks he knows so much more than he does. That's true.
And Eliana would basically talk similar to that girl who was on Anthony Padilla's show, where she'd just snap into this other personality and the other personality.
Oh my gosh, I can't listen to Onision trying to play doctor. I'm over here gnawing on an empty stick. Do you like popsicles? I love popsicles. Blow pops. I said popsicles. Blow pops. I have like 10 bags of these blow pops and I eat them constantly because I quit smoking. So now I'm constantly sucking on stuff and eating stuff. So, oh my gosh. Eating candy. Anywho, this was just a portion to kind of give you an idea on what other YouTubers feel, on how other YouTubers feel about the Edwin and Onision and documentary situation right now. We're going to look into some more in a little bit, but what are your thoughts? Please share them with me. I'm going to try to make my videos a little longer. I don't like taking people's content, but I do use it. You know, I mean, it's kind of fair game on YouTube, but I'll make sure I put them in the credits. And if you want more, let me know and leave your thoughts in the comments. I mean, this situation isn't going away. May as well talk about it.